Have you ever played Dead by Daylight and find yourself losing chases as a survivor and always being the first one down, or even dead? Well, I'm here today to help keep you alive and minimize your mistakes. I have over 1100 hours in the game, and with the majority of that being played as a survivor, I consistently win my chases. Although I will be the first to admit I am not the best survivor out there, hopefully in today's video you will learn some of the things I use in every game to help you stay alive longer. Let's get started. When you first spawn onto a map, you will likely find yourself near a generator and a teammate or two. The first mistake I see a lot of survivors make is grouping together on the first two generators they see. This makes it incredibly easy for the killer to get multiple early game hits or downs. This also pulls multiple survivors off gens instead of only one and does not create the best use of your time as a survivor, as you will need to reset and wait for the killer to leave or decide on which survivor they will chase. Let me explain. Here's the map Groaning Storehouse. You start with another teammate and hop onto the first gen you see as your teammates hop onto the gen on the other side of the map. You see the killer coming and you both run off the gen. During chase, the killer happens to hit you and down your teammate. You are now left injured with needing to save your teammate or move back to the gen you're on. The killer comes back towards the gen and gets in chase with you and downs you as well. During this time, you may have been lucky to get the gen done that your teammates were on, and now you have given up 2 hook states to the killer with 1 gen completed. So here's my first tip of the video. When you start the trial, pay attention to which gens your teammates are on, and you don't get on the first generator that you see. Instead, choose to move to the other side of the map away from where your teammates are. This is called gen pressure. By doing this, you spread out to focus on multiple gens and gain more progress on them, which applies more pressure to the killer. The killer is also left with 1 survivor instead of 2 or more. This allows you to spend your time on the gen while 1 survivor runs the killer. Even if they get downed, you're saved time by not being injured yourself or being pushed off a gen. This will also help you to avoid a 3-gen situation that allows the killer to effectively ignore half the map. Always have endgame in mind when considering which gens to focus on and give your time to. More gens done mean more escapes. One tactic that will help you survive is the ability to loop a killer. Looping is probably one of the hardest things for most survivors to get a full grasp on. Honestly, I could spend an entire video on looping and talk about the ins and outs of it. If you'd like to see a full video just on looping, let me know in the comments. For now, we'll talk about some of the basics. While working on gens, it's always important to have an extra strategy in mind. Make sure you are always paying attention to your surroundings, as it could mean the difference between life and death. Our first step to loop a killer is to always be paying attention to what the killer is doing during a chase. Too often I see survivors holding W and not paying attention to the killer. Most good killers will try to play mind games with you and outsmart you. They want to predict what you are going to do before you do it. This gives them the advantage in chase. But while killers can play mind games, so can you. Learning to fake vault a window or a pallet is one of the best ways to run a killer, especially if you notice them lunging to hit you. A lot of survivors I see give the killer too much credit with this. The important key here is not to overestimate the killer. Killers will many times fall for this, even experienced ones. Remember, the more time you get the killer to waste, the better for your team. It's also important to understand some of your resources in Dead by Daylight. The 2 biggest resources you have to you are window vaults and pallets. All too often I see survivors running to a pallet and camping on it until a killer gets them, then they drop it. This wastes a lot of distance you may have had on the killer. Remember, most killers are faster than you, so it's important that you always keep as much distance between you and the killer as possible. Instead of waiting at a pallet, run through the pallet and continue looping around the structure until the very last minute, saving your pallet until it's the last resort. Using vaults to your advantage in this scenario will also help you preserve the pallet while also wasting the killer's time. Knowing the distance and how long it takes for you to get from one place to another is key when saving others or trying to race the killer to a vault. This brings me to my 3rd tip of the video. A lot of survivors I see misjudge how long it will take you to get across the map to get a hook rescue or to a pallet or window that could save you from going down. There's nothing more important than a survivor's hook state. Not even gens should come before friends. The more survivors you keep alive means the better chance you have surviving the match. Learning distance will come with playtime. If you're unsure about the distance needed, it's okay to leave a little bit earlier. This will also protect you and your teammates. Here we get to my final tip of the video, and arguably one of the most important. In order to survive a Dead by Daylight trial, you need to understand angles. A lot of new or inexperienced survivors that hold W while running from a killer, but they never look back to see where they are. An experienced killer would take advantage of this by cutting you off. While running from killers, always be sure to look back once in a while to see where the killer is and to judge how close they are to you. This will help you set up a pallet, a vault, or even a 360. When it comes to vaulting, a lot of people don't know that there are 3 different types of vaulting. First, we have the slow vault. This vault will not alert the killer, but the survivor will need to be walking or stationary in order to achieve this. Then we have the medium vault. Quicker than the slow vault, but will alert the killer. This vault is obtained by running through at an angle. Lastly, we have the fast vault. This vault is the best vault in evading a killer and only obtained by running at a vault head on. When in chase with a killer, remember that no matter the distance, a killer will always catch up to you. So it's important a survivor takes advantage of the space they have. Hugging walls is one way to do this. The tighter you can hug a wall, the tighter your turrets can be, and the less wasted space you will have between you and where you're trying to go. Remember, killers will always try to run these as tight as possible in order to cut down the distance between them and you. I think that about sums up the tips I have for you today. A lot of time goes into mastering all the different facets of the game, and a lot of frustration can be had while doing so. I know I have certainly had my frustrations with them. But hopefully these tips help you and you learn something new. Was there anything new to you? If so, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you want to see a video just on looping, make sure that you leave a comment below and let me know. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe as well. Also, be sure to check out my Twitch where I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 PM Eastern. And if you like this video, make sure you check out one of the other videos here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.